You can save and save as much money as you can, but with a given rate of inflation, there's a point where that's just not going to cut it. You do need to make more money. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing 5 ways that you can make extra money as a doctor, except LOCUM, because I'm sure you already know about that. Hi guys, my name is Sissy and I'm a Ghana medical doctor working in the UK. And before I mention these 5 ways of how you can make extra income in the UK as a doctor, I thought I would just share a little bit about why I think this is important. It's very important, I think, to learn about money. A lot of us were not taught about money when we were younger. Actually, I was. My dad did try to teach me about money. He got me that book, you know, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and a bunch of other financial books. So he'd give us the books and make us read them and then give him a summary and explain. So thanks, Dad, at least you tried. I do wish I had paid more attention. But anyways, at least that planted a seed, and so I have interest in all this kind of thing coming up now. My favorite places to learn about money right now are YouTube. Yes, I am a student of the University of YouTube. I've learned a lot about money and different things on YouTube, and the channels that I highly recommend are the Humble Penny and Mama Fafa. These are 2 UK-based channels that explain different things about money, investing, stocks, like stocks and shares, ISAs, things like that. So I'll link them below, so have a look and see and try and learn as much as possible. They also share usually passive income ideas and things like that. So go and watch these people's videos and learn as much as you can. So you need to educate yourself. So wherever your parents stopped or wherever school stopped, then you continue, if you even got any education at all over there. If not, then you can go and learn. It's never too late. There's a children's book that I read called Grandpa's Fortune Fable. So this is a book that I got recommended to me from Ed of the Medix Money. So Medix Money is also another great resource. So these are accountants and also medical doctors that make like advice for doctors, and they were advising this book for children. I bought the book for my daughter, but she's only 4, so she's too little. But I read the book and I found like it was so helpful. It made so many concepts very clear about like money, investing, saving, all those kind of things. So I'll link it below as well, so you can have a look if you want, and also link Medix Money. They have a podcast and lots of other resources. My first tip is to monetize your knowledge. So you're a doctor and you already have specialized knowledge, so it doesn't have to be specialized knowledge like that. You're probably monetizing your knowledge in that you're providing a service because of information or knowledge that you have that most people don't have. But just because you're a doctor does not mean that you're nothing else, or you can't be more than a doctor. So you're all these other things. So for instance, personally, I have specialized knowledge on how to work as a doctor in the UK, and I do offer one-on-one services to people who want to know more about that, or if you want to talk to me personally, I do provide a service for that. I will link that via the description below. You can go to my website and book a session and talk to me, guys. What are you thinking of monetizing? What knowledge do you have out there that you think someone out there can need and will be willing to pay for it? My next tip is to sell a digital product. So this can be, for example, an ebook or some sort of tool. So for instance, I am a psychiatrist and I do have specialized knowledge on the human mind. So I could, for instance, make an ebook on how to understand your mind better. What do you think, guys? Would you buy such a book? Let me know in the comments below. The good thing about this idea is that once you've set it up and it gains traction, it's kind of like a passive income, unlike my previous point where I actively have to be there if I want to talk to someone, and if they're going to pay me, I have to be there. But for this kind of idea, you set it up, put it online, and then people can just keep purchasing it without you actually having like to talk to them or anything like that. So consider this, because I am also considering it, and when I do it, then I'll be back to tell you how it goes, guys. My third way is YouTube. Yes, guys, YouTube is here to stay. I really don't feel like it's going anywhere. To get monetized on YouTube, you need to have at least 1,000 subscribers and a minimum of 4,000 watch hours. So currently, I have about just over 1,000 watch hours and around 800 subscribers. But I have only had this channel for about 8 months, guys. So I think it's really impressive. I am personally impressed by my team. Yes, I have a team. My production team, who is my husband, he does everything behind the scenes. And I feel like anyone can do it. So from lots of people that I've watched who are YouTube experts, they say that on average you need to be producing at least 1 video a week for at least 2 years for it to make financial sense. So a lot of times this is like the AdSense, that is for the little ad that shows at the beginning. The YouTube channel gets a proportion of the income from that, but a lot of people say that that money is not really all that much. So what YouTube is like a platform that you can use to advertise your own services. So at the moment, YouTube for me, I'm advertising myself as someone who's providing one-on-one services, like I said. So if you do need to talk to me personally about your own personal journey of walking to the UK, then link in the description below. Are you thinking about starting a YouTube channel? Let me know in the comments below. And just do it, guys. Just start. The hardest thing is starting, and then after that you just learn as you go along. My next tip is to podcast. podcasting is the future. I think also it's like more longer form content, and podcasting is even less competitive than YouTube. I believe there are like 300 YouTube channels and only like 2 million podcasts. So that means that if you start a podcast, chances are even higher of getting successful. And also the good thing with podcasts is that you can monetize straight away. So unlike YouTube that has this threshold, you have to first make it to a certain level before you can monetize. With podcasts, you can monetize straight away. Yes, I do have a podcast. My podcast is called The Tangled Mind. So on this podcast, I share mental health tips and ways to help people to kind of be your own therapist. So my target market is really anyone interested in improving their own mind and also like being their own therapist. So I'll link it below as well so you can go and listen. Are you thinking of starting a podcast? Let me know. Or do you have a podcast? Please link it below and we can follow you. And my final way to make extra income is stocks and shares. This is proper passive income because you just give your money to a company, you invest in a company, and then you just get dividends. So that is, you give your money to some other people and then invest in their company and they get profits and they give you a bit of their profits. So there are different platforms to use, and one of them is Vanguard. I personally use Vanguard. There's also Hargreaves and Lansdowne for investing in index funds and ETFs and all those kind of things. But also if you want to invest in individual companies, then there are other platforms like eToro and Trading 212 that are really good as well. So I would advise that you learn as much as possible as you can about this, because obviously you don't want to be getting into something that you don't totally understand. So I'll link below the channels that I mentioned below where I've learned a lot about it. And also it's like a long-term plan. So it's not something that you want to be putting in your money and want to get it out in less than 3 to 5 years time. So you want to be putting your money with hopes of getting it maybe 5 or 10 or 15 years and even longer. It's like long-term plan. So historically the rate of returns on investing most of the time has been more than 10%, which is way better than savings accounts that are like 0.001% or even 1 or 2%. And yes, we know that past performance does not predict future performance, but for me I feel like it's a risk worth taking. And also it makes me excited to feel like I'm an investor. I'm invested in the S&P 500, FTSE 100, all these big companies, Amazon, Google. It feels really nice, guys. So do consider it. Are you an investor? Do you have stocks and shares? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to know why a doctor in the UK will need to make even extra income, then watch this video where I explain exactly how much doctors in the UK make.